Let's cut the fluff. We've been told for years that women care about looks, clothes, pickup lines, but the truth? That stuff barely scratches the surface. You ever walk into a room, lock eyes with a woman, and suddenly feel like she knows you better than you know yourself? That's not just imagination. That's instinct. Women are wired to read energy. It's primal. It's emotional intelligence turned all the way up. And what they sense before a single word leaves your mouth can make or break your entire presence. Let's dig into what women instantly notice and why it matters more than anything you say, the power of energy over words you don't need to talk to speak. Your body, your energy, your stillness, they all say something long before your voice enters the room. Words are cheap. Energy is real. If you want to know what really pulls her in, start paying attention to these 8 things. 1, the way you carry your silence before you even speak. Your silence makes a statement. It reveals your emotional depth, your patience, and your sense of control. Most men rush to fill silence, fumbling with words, cracking nervous jokes, or shifting in their seat. But the man who rests calmly and quiet, he's different. He's grounded. His stillness commands respect without asking for it. That kind of silence doesn't feel awkward, it feels powerful. Because it's not about the absence of words, but the presence of something deeper. Confidence. Look her in the eyes, not with force, but with ease. Don't chase the silence or run from it. Let it settle between you like a shared understanding. That moment of calm becomes a mirror reflecting your inner peace. And she noticed because the truth is, women are deeply intuitive. They feel energy more than they hear words. And when your energy is calm, steady, and unbothered by the need to perform, it speaks volumes. You're not trying to impress her, you're simply present. That kind of presence is rare. And that's what draws her, not the fancy lines or rehearsed stories, but the way you carry yourself when nothing is being said. In a world full of noise, a man who's at peace in his silence is unforgettable. He's not performing. He's not chasing. He's already full, and that's the kind of silence that lingers in her mind. Long after the conversation ends. Point 2, your relationship with yourself. She can tell instantly. The way you constantly seek a reaction. The way you lean too far into the joke. The way your eyes flick around for approval. It gives you away. You might think you're hiding it well, but that craving for validation, it's loud. True strength doesn't need to announce itself. It's quiet, it's still. It's found in a man who's comfortable in his own presence. A man who doesn't need to be seen to feel worthy. When you genuinely enjoy your own company, when you're content in solitude, that energy is powerful. You're no longer performing, you're just being. And that's rare. Women pick up on this more than you think. They feel the difference between a man who wants their attention and a man who doesn't need it. The second one? That's the one they remember, because confidence isn't about loudness. It's about inner peace. And when your validation comes from within, not from her gaze, you become uncheckable. So build a relationship with yourself first. Learn to love the quiet. Find power in your solitude. That's when you stop chasing and start attracting. 3, how you observe the room. You don't need volume to make an impact. Real presence doesn't shout, it watches. The man who walks into a room and takes a moment before acting, who notices the energy, the dynamics, the subtle shifts. That man stands out. He doesn't rush to be seen. He doesn't compete for attention. He simply observes. And in that silence, he gains an edge. Because awareness is a quiet form of leadership. You can feel it, the way he scans the room with purpose, not paranoia. The way his eyes meet yours, calmly, not searching for approval. He's reading everything, yet revealing nothing. That's where confidence lives, in non-reactivity, in not flinching, in not being pulled by every laugh, glance, or opinion. While others perform, he remains grounded. And that groundedness, it communicates something powerful. It says, I'm in control of me, of my space, of how I move. Without needing to dominate, he influences. Without needing to impress, he earns respect. So next time you enter a room, don't rush to fill it. Let your stillness speak. Let your awareness lead. The loudest man may draw eyes, but the calmest man holds attention. 4, grounded body language. Your body speaks before your mouth does. And she's watching closely. The stiffness in your shoulders, the way you cross your arms, the bounce in your leg, they all whisper the same thing: insecurity. You might not notice, but she does. Now picture this: shoulders back, chest open, jaw relaxed, breathing steady. You're not performing. You're simply present. That subtle shift changes everything, because real confidence doesn't come from puffing up or shrinking down. It comes from stillness, from posture that says, I'm okay right here as I am. You're not hiding behind defensive gestures, nor are you forcing yourself to stand out. You're just grounded, comfortable in your own skin. And that calm, physical presence speaks volumes. Women don't just hear your words, they feel your energy. And when your body language matches inner peace, it creates a quiet pull, no try-hard bravado. No nervous fidgeting. Just steady presence. So check your posture next time. Are you shrinking or are you standing? Not with aggression, but with calm assurance. Because the most attractive thing about a man is not how loud he is, it's how grounded he feels. And that she can sense from across the room. 5 your energy when no one's watching. The real test of a man's character, how he moves when there's no spotlight, no audience, no one to impress. She notices more than you think. How you speak to the waiter, whether you hold the door for a stranger, how patient you are with someone who can do nothing for you. She's not watching for a performance, she's watching for truth, because your energy in the shadows reveals everything. The quiet respect you show to those around you, especially when there's no reward, tells her what kind of man you really are, and that kind of integrity, it's rare. In a world full of performers, the man who treats everyone with dignity consistently, silently, is the one who earns deep trust. It's not about charm, not about smooth talk. It's about the safety she feels when she knows you're good, even when no one's watching. That calm respect becomes your loudest statement. So don't underestimate the power of quiet integrity. It doesn't need applause. It just needs to be real. Because in the end, she won't remember your lines or your looks. She remember how your presence made the world around. You feel just a little more secure. 6 strength of your boundaries. She notices when you fold, when you laugh just to blend in, when you agree to things that drain you. It doesn't read as kindness, it reads as insecurity. And deep down, she knows it. Boundaries are a reflection of self-respect. If you can't say no without guilt, you're not standing firm, you're floating, hoping to be accepted. That tells her you don't trust your own value unless it's approved by others. But when a man knows where his limits are, what he tolerates, what he won't entertain, he sends a different message. One that says, I respect myself too much to betray my peace. And that's powerful, because strong boundaries don't push people away. They filter who stays. They show her you're not here to be liked, you're here to be real. You don't need to be cold or harsh. You just need to be clear, calmly, firmly, with no need to explain or justify. The man who holds his ground without guilt stands out, not because he's trying to, but because he's rare. And that rare strength, it earns quiet respect. Not just from her, but from the world. 7, how you respond to pressure. Pressure doesn't build your character, it reveals it. The way you respond when things go wrong says far more than anything you say when life is easy. Someone mocks you, the room goes quiet. You're misunderstood, challenged, or dismissed. Do you react out of ego? Do you crumble, defend, lash out? Or do you breathe and stay centered? Because that stillness under pressure, that's strength. Not the loud, aggressive kind, but the rare kind. The kind that doesn't flinch. A man who remains calm in chaos shows he's been through storms and didn't lose himself in them. That quiet composure whispers, I've faced worse, I'm still here, and I don't need to prove anything. She sees it. That unshaken energy makes her feel safe, even when things feel unstable. It's not about being emotionless. It's about being grounded, able to respond instead of react, and that kind of emotional control. It's magnetic. Because in a world full of impulsive noise, the man who moves slowly, calmly, with intention, he stands out. So when pressure hits, let it sharpen you. Stay still, stay steady, and let your response speak for the storms you've already survived. 8, Your sense of direction. Few things are more powerful than a man who knows where he's going. A man with vision, with goals that exist with or without her. That kind of direction isn't just impressive, it's magnetic. Because purpose changes everything. It shapes how you walk, how you speak, how you handle setbacks. You're no longer chasing people, you're building something. And when your mission is clear, your presence speaks for itself. She feels it too. When you're rooted in something bigger than approval, your energy shifts. You're less reactive, less distracted. You're not seeking permission, you're pursuing legacy. And that self-leadership, that's rare. It's not about being distant or detached. It's about having a fire inside that doesn't flicker when someone else walks away. Women respect a man who doesn't lose himself in love, who brings direction into a relationship, not one who searches for it through one. So find your path. Follow it relentlessly. Let your goals, your growth, and your grind shape your presence, because the most attractive man isn't the one trying to be chosen, he's the one too focused to notice if he is. This matters more than looks or lines. Forget the scripted lines. Forget the flash. If your presence isn't real, none of it matters. Because she doesn't fall for what you say, she falls for what she feels. And all these traits, they create a feeling of strength, of safety, of substance. Conclusion. Be the man she feels before she hears you. Don't need to chase, brother. You don't need to impress. You need to become. The way you walk into a room, the way you hold your silence, the way you exist, those are the things that tell her everything. Presence isn't taught, it's built. Be the man who doesn't need to speak to be heard. Be the man she feels before you even say a word.